Hello everyone, and welcome to American Bard Gaming. Today I decided I was going to go ahead and dust off A Plague's Tale. Now, I have actually played this game all the way through. I got some of the achievements, but I decided I was going to go back through, reset it to 0, or at least as near as I could. I found that when erasing the achievements for this game, when I go back and try and play it through, it automatically completes a couple. The two that they complete are not that big of a deal. They're ones that I completed just by playing the game. I think it was like, pick up X many rocks or something like that. Achievements along those lines, so nothing too serious. But I'm going to go ahead and play through today. I figure I want to go ahead and 100% this game. There should be another Plague's Tale game coming out soon. I'm not sure whether I'm going to play it or not. I still haven't played Requiem, so that's on my list, is to get through Requiem as well, 100% it, and see how I'm feeling by the end of Requiem. I'm kind of at a look first, watch the reviews first, maybe buy and play later. I've just been burned by a lot of games lately. I'm sure you guys have felt the same way, that there have been a lot of things that started out super strong and then they just went to crap really, really quickly, and so I'm trying to avoid that. I'd rather just not play the third game if it's going to destroy the first two. I didn't play the second Last of Us game because of that. The first one was spectacular, the second one was bad. And it left a sour taste in the mouth of everybody who played it, and I could tell from the trailers that I was going to hate it, so in my mind I just ignored it. This game, I gotta say, speaking of The Last of Us, this game is pretty similar, at least in tone. You've got, instead of a father-daughter dynamic like you have in The Last of Us, in this case you have a older sister, younger brother dynamic. It's almost like a maternal role. It is super fun, and both of them are set sort of in this, well, one is post-apocalyptic, the other is like medieval Europe, but both of them are set in this kind of plague setting where, everybody's sick and dying, and tensions are high, trust is low, and danger is everywhere. It's a really, I was going to say it's a unique game, but I've just got done saying that it's very similar to The Last of Us, but there are parts of it that are very unique, very creative, with some weird twists along the way. Some of them I like, some of them not as much, but I still give this game a very positive review and recommend it to you if you haven't played it. In fact, if you haven't played this game, go ahead, play through it first. It's not a hard game to finish. I don't even imagine it'll be that hard to 100% it. I just want to go through and find all the hidden trophies that I can, so that you can look through and find them quickly. I found that usually after I finish a game, I don't want to spend a ton of time trophy hunting. I just want to do them, get them, and be done. So hopefully this acts as kind of a guide to you. But if you haven't played it, go ahead and play it first, because it is a lot of fun, and it's one of those things that it's better to experience yourself first and then come back and watch it. But if you're going to ignore my advice, go ahead, that's fine too. I'm going to go ahead and play through. See, Alchemist, craft 100 ammunitions. See, I don't really know why it gave me that. I mean, I've done it before, but in theory I reset all my Steam achievements, so that one shouldn't show up. Again, that's not hard. I got that throughout the course of the game. It's not something you have to work to do, it's not something you point out to you, hey, here's where you find this, you just need to play through it. So that one you should get pretty easily. Actually, hang on, go back, let me make sure. New game, listening mode, headphones, I do have headphones, let's do that. HUD preset, standard, immersive, most indicators and interface elements are disabled. Select this game mode will require more attention. It's also possible to modify these settings. Well, you know what, I played the game before, and it might be funny to watch me struggle through some things, so let's go ahead. There's a place to set a difficulty, rate it up. I think I played through, if it has settings, difficulty settings, it may not. But if it did, I probably played through on an easier setting just to get the story, and now that I've been here, done that, if I can adjust it, we'll adjust it so that it's harder. It's always more fun seeing people struggle through the hard things and going, oh, he played it on the easiest difficulty. Chocolate milk. Delightful.
You are dawdling, Amicia. How will you be able
This
to
game is a
follow the
real
laws
gem,
at
by the
heart?
way. I'm going to talk over it a bit.
That's your only ambition for
If you
me.
want to see the actual game, go play it. I
will beat
don't
them,
want to get
and I will
copyright
rock
struck
and
for
eat
just
my
letting
dust
it
as I
play.
forge ahead.
I'll
But
see if I can
that
turn
I
on
shall need a good
subtitles
cause.
at some point.
You've been
but,
going on about this walk for
this
ages.
game is something of a gem.
Why here?
The tree.
You might think that it's just kind of standard female protagonist game where like, oh, we're gonna have a superpowered girl boss, but no, actually, she was a very well-rounded character. She doesn't feel like she's overpowered in any way. You feel like you're playing somebody who's very weak, somebody who's very vulnerable. Ooh, I can pet the dog. I forgot I can pet the dog. Let's pet the dog. Yes. Yes, I forget the dog's name, but we'll find out soon enough. I want to say Hugo, but that's the brother's name. I'm just going to look around a bit because I don't think there's anything in this area, but, you know, I want to be thorough. If I don't find it on this first playthrough, I'm going to go back and get things anyways. This is going to play through, get what I can, and then I'll go back and find things. I may streamline this process later on, but seeing as I haven't really done this that much... Leo, that's the dog's name. Seeing as I haven't done this that much, I will take it as it goes.
That's harsh.
This game really is a gem, though. Like I was saying, you don't really feel like she's an overpowered girl boss, like you're dealing with just feminism in 14th century France.
Let's keep going.
Is it even 14th century? Might be earlier than that. You know, it feels authentic. I mean, there's obviously fantastical parts about the game, but it feels there's something about the characters that feels real, and you know, because she's not trying to be super powerful, one up other men. She's not trying to show off how strong and independent she is.
Yes,
you know, because
Father,
she's just able to be a female character. She's actually very, very relatable. She's she's very endearing in that regard. I'm afraid they're going to ruin that in the third game, that they're going to try and make her a bit of a girl boss. I've seen some gameplay, and it's like, okay, you have this like 110-pound girl taking on this 210-pound knight and taking him down like it's nothing. And that doesn't really happen in this game. In this game, you have to think, you have to be careful, you have to actually use your brain, because she is at a disadvantage. And it makes sense because she's like a 14-year-old girl.
And I hardly ever see you.
In the newer games, they're going to have her... I can almost put money on it. They're going to have her just act like every other woman in video games. And because of that, she's not going to stand out. She's not going to be interesting. She's not going to feel as real. And I just don't want that.
Of course.
In this game, she was allowed to be who she is. She was allowed to be a woman in a video game. And you know what? The characters were allowed to be normal characters. So that's one of the things I like. Again, it feels real. It's also just a gorgeous game. Look around how beautiful this is.
The sacred apples of the...
And I mean, look at her dress as well. I mean, well, sort of dress. That is maybe one nitpick thing, is that she's wearing pants in medieval France. She would not have been wearing pants, she would have been wearing a dress. But the haircut seems realistic, and the pattern looks realistic as well. Let's see, there's some stones over there.
Tell me when you're ready.
Let's see how well I do. I always miss like one of these.
Ready? I'll show you I'm not a child anymore.
All right, come back. Stand behind this truck. You'll shoot from here.
It shall be done.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So the thing here, you just want to take your time.
5.
Don't try and rush a shot.
6, 7.
You might make it.
8.
And this is how
see, I rushed a shot and I missed it. I whiffed it. I didn't even take my own advice. I thought I held it down long enough, and not quite.
Well, I must say I'm impressed.
There's probably a different voice dialogue if you get it right. I haven't actually gotten it right because I suck. But still, it's fun. So you can see too, it's not like she's going through like a sword or a flail or anything. She's got a sling, which is a weapon that's appropriate for a woman. You know, it's not that women are... You know, it's not like women are inherently bad fighters, it's just they're physically weaker because of their biology, and that's not, you know, that's not a problem, but what it is, you know, in video games, when they try and force it down your throat, like, you know, like Aloy. I like the Horizon series, at least what I've gotten so far. I didn't like the second game quite as well. But it's just kind of ridiculous. You've got this woman who's basically she's taking down giant metal dinosaurs with a spear. It just doesn't make sense. But Amicia using slings, I mean, that does make sense. She's a 14-year-old girl. What, do you think she's going to be wielding broadsword taking down knights? I'm sure they'd like you to think that in all the fantasy books out there and all the video games and movies, but no, it's not. It's ridiculous. And this is coming from somebody who knows for a fact that swords are lighter than most people think.
There you are.
By the way, I am looking around for things, but this is actually pretty linear. That is one thing about this game. Like The Last of Us, it is pretty linear. So there's not as many places to go off the beaten path. So it looks like, oh, I'm not exploring as much left or right. That's because, you know, you get these hard walls that don't necessarily look like a hard wall. Like, I can't go through this gap right here. I should be able to. There's nothing stopping me, but it's an invisible wall. So, not much to find here. This is why I love this game. Just watch this. This.
What did you smell?
This. Okay, I'm not quite where I thought it was. So we're going to roll here, take down the bullet. We're going to try and take it down with our sling. This is just to kind of teach you some mechanics of the game.
A wild boar.
It's not letting me move yet.
This will do nicely for a little feast.
Go ahead and pick up some rocks. I'm probably running a little low.
That might work, but you'll need to get closer. This grass will keep you.
So if you crouch, you can hide in the tall grass. Now I will say this is one of those things where it's like, oh, you're completely invisible in tall grass.
Time to make my move.
There's a little bit of room for nitpicking there. However, to be fair, I mean, it is really tall grass. Okay, so if you want to cancel a shot, I'm using a mouse. I don't know what it is on controller, but left click is to, well, so you right click to aim and then left click to load the sling and start swinging it. If you release right click before left click, you can cancel the shot.
You have to aim for the head.
I'm doing my best.
Let's see
I want that feast.
So,
You can do it, my
oh,
darling.
Alan Wake's right. Cool. I played through that, but I kind of need it. There's something I'm trying to check on it. That's another game that I really recommend, and I don't want to have to reset the achievements for it, but I will. Anyway, you want to make sure you're aiming for the head with this guy. If you hit him in the side, he's just going to run off.
Does
It might take you 2 or 3
always
hits.
make you this accurate?
I mean, he's going to run off anyways, but, you know, it's going to take you longer to get
But the feast isn't on your plate quite yet.
Oh, I heard Leo. His name's Leon. Okay, so the dog is Leon. So we're just doing the tutorial, but again, I like the game. It feels very natural. It's this girl. She's spending time with her father out in the woods. Bit of a noble woman, but you know, kind of like she's kind of like a medieval middle class, to be honest with you, upper middle class. Spending time with her father because her mother spends most of the time taking care of her sick brother, and so Amicia, the girl's sick brother, and so she doesn't get a lot of time with her mother. Her father's usually off doing business. You know, he's local lord who's got to go protect the realm, and so he's constantly busy, and so she's kind of left to almost raise herself or be raised by the castle staff. And so we get kind of a father-daughter moment here, and that's very nice. Some tutorials, they kind of...
He must have found it.
You can tell that the whole point is to be a tutorial, but they don't quite do that here. Like, I mean, it is to be a tutorial, but it's also... The story gets rolling from the start. And so I like that.
These bridges were almost new. Someone's not going to be happy.
Oh, I hit space, I need control. It probably is a little bit more intuitive on controller.
The trees. What did that? Leo, come here! It's the boar. But how? Leon couldn't have done that.
She is right. Leon could not have done that.
Come here! Leo! Leo! I'm here! I'm coming!
I almost don't want to say anything. And this scene is... It sets the tone for the game.
My dog. Who did this?
Some people won't play this game immediately just because of that. And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my least favorite part of the game.
What devilry is this?
I hate seeing a dog die.
Immediately.
But like I said, this sets the tone for the game. You can tell this is gonna be a darker game. It's not gonna be something, you know, you're not gonna get sunshine and roses. It's not gonna pull any punches, and I really, really appreciate that.
I shall organize a hunt. Go and find
I
your
should
mother.
see if I
Tell
if
her
I can turn on
speak with her.
subtitles.
She's
I was going to do that
Looking after
as soon as
Hugo.
this cutscene is
Yes,
through. Let me
of
see
course.
if I can get that done.
Amicia. He was a good dog.
This game is just remarkably well written. All right, let's see. Game probably. Aim assist. Low. Vibrations, I guess. Immersive. Advanced HUD settings. Tutorial, yes, we'll keep that. Objectives. Ammunition status. Obstacle crossing. We actually probably don't need that. Highlight interactions. I'll do that just because, you know, every now and then something like Pet the Dog comes up, and I don't want to miss that. Assistance outline, no. Companion status, no. Companion in danger, no. Enemy status indicator, no. Enemy presence indicator, no. Loot log, no. Reticles, yes. No. Let's turn that off, just for a little bit, see how it goes. There's a chance for target practice coming up, so we'll take a look at that. Would it be language, maybe? Display subtitles? Yes. Language, English, display character names. We probably don't need that. I wonder. Ooh, we can do French and German. German's interesting. I did not expect that. French I expected. I'm not going to play it in French. I'm sorely tempted, but of course this is for you guys, and playing it in French wouldn't really help a lot of people. Unless I do, like, the gameplay in French and the subtitles in English. Which I could do. I mean, you guys are probably going to be reading through the subtitles anyways, because I can't shut my cake hole. So, you know, maybe. You know what? Yes. Let's do that. If you guys don't like it, you can chew me out for it later. Voice language, subtitle language, yeah. So, in theory, we should be able to read everything, but everybody will be speaking in French. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah. No, that's probably all fine. We'll see how shooting without a reticle goes. One of the things I also really love about this game is it, you know, like I was saying about Amicia, it lets the characters be themselves. She is allowed to be a normal 14-year-old girl, not modern day view of how women should be through the lens of feminism or girl boss or whatever. She's allowed to be a normal 14-year-old girl. Likewise, this game is allowed to be Catholic, because the Catholic Church would have been dominating France at the time, all of Europe at the time. And it allows kind of the Catholic culture of Europe to seep through, and they don't, they don't shy away from that. I like that.
Il y a une urgence. Réunis les autres
Different
et allez voir
voice
mon père
actors.
dès que vous pouvez. C'est très pressé.
I guess that makes sense. It's not really fair to ask somebody to be bilingual, and though I guess the actress that they got to voice her in English did have a very good French accent. So. Okay, so up here in the stables is one thing that we can find.
T'étais là, toi.
Pull that up.
Je t'ai
Whistle.
cherché
A
partout.
terracotta whistle given to Amicia by her father for her first hunt. Used by our distant ancestors as instruments and toys, whistles allowed people to synchronize their group during hunts, but also armies in times of war. So, there's one up here. I don't think there's really anything else up here, but I'll give it a quick check. Give it a quick check now because, you know, this is, I mean, we're out of the tutorial, more or less. I mean, there's a little bit left, but, you know, we know a lot of what we need to know. And so, you know, I want to be looking now because the story does get going. And I don't want to have to be looking around for stuff while I'm in the thick of it. Man, this is nice. The architecture feels like it used to be Roman, and that they built a medieval town inside of it, or, you know, a medieval castle inside of it. You know, you got these almost like terracotta roofs. As far as I know, that wasn't very common in medieval France. That feels more Roman. The thatch is more what I would expect. Or even wood. But, that's also to be expected. The Romans did rule over the area before the French came to power. Let's see, there shouldn't... Let's see, did you have a good walk?
Mademoiselle Amicia, avez-vous pu... Plus tard, Flore. Dis aux autres de ne pas mettre les pieds dans la forêt jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Oui.
Alright.
Je leur dirai.
Yeah, so
Pour les nouveaux rivets.
Au fait, the architecture does feel very French, which is nice.
Les gens
I
sont
mean, a little bit
nerveux.
of Roman mixed in, but
Il y
again,
en
that
a
makes
qui ont
sense.
été mordus dans la nuit.
Un coup des Anglais, ça.
It feels authentic, and I like that. That's one of the things about the game. Every little bit of it had care put into it. I don't know about the third game, but this first game is basically, if they were a studio, they were probably like a AA studio. It wasn't like they had tons of money pouring in, but they put in care. You don't really see that as much these days, and I really appreciate it.
Les pots de
Alright,
Théo
let's make sure we
m'apparaissent.
got rocks.
J'ai encore ma fronde.
Now this is going to be... Okay, so there is still kind of an aim assist, but there's no reticle for it, which is odd. Like if I aim, here, I'll aim with this button. I move my mouse, you can feel there's a little bit of a, if I move just a little bit, it tugs it back into place. So that's low aim assist, there's no option to turn it off. But there's no reticle, so that does add a little bit of an extra challenge. Hopefully that helps. I don't think there's a whole lot else in the outlying area. There's nothing in the barn over here. In the stables there was the duck. But it is nice to just kind of look around. And let's look inside the church here. Look at this chapel. This is authentic. I mean, look right here. So you've got the stonework underneath, but they would often plaster and then paint over it. Look how colorful this is. You don't see that in a lot of medieval games, but this is how it actually was. This is pretty realistic. It's one of the things I really appreciate that about this game. Take care of Leon, please. He deserves his place at your side. Even if he was a bit naughty sometimes. Goodbye, my darling dog. I don't know if I'm going to read off all the subtitles, but talking over them might be distracting too, so who knows. Let's see here. Is there anything about church? Nothing about church yet. I was hoping it would give me some sort of informational thing. I can't interact here. I guess it's not really a church, it's a chapel. Fun fact, the chapel is called a chapel because it was used to store the cape of Saint Martin, who was the patron saint of France. He was a Roman, and Christian legend holds that one day Saint Martin was, while he was still in the army, he saw some poor beggar freezing to death on the side of the road. Oh, don't mind my cat. Well, at any rate, so he cuts his cloak in half because it's bitterly cold and the beggar will die without it, but he still needs something to keep him warm. So he cuts it in half and gives the cloak to the beggar. And later that night he has a vision, and he is at the throne of God, and he sees Jesus seated on a throne, wearing his cloak, and the angels are asking him, well, why are you wearing that filthy rag? And he says, because my friend Martin gave it to me. And then, according to some versions of the legend, later on, the cloak was returned to him whole. So it was a holy relic, and it was moved from site to site, and they built chapels as places to hold that relic. So anywhere that's a chapel, technically, the idea is that it's supposed to hold the cloak of Saint Martin. He was patron saint of France because he ended up converting a lot of the French pagans. Let's see here. Actually, I believe the way he did it...
Gabriel.
The way he did it was they had these sacred trees and he wanted to cut them down, and they said, alright, you can cut them down as long as you stand in the way of it. And they're thinking, yeah, this tree's going to come and kill you, so you're not going to do it. And he did it, and the tree missed him. So the pagans converted. There's other fun stories about him. I found out about this because supposedly our family is related to him. It's a bit of a dubious claim. Nowhere in the history books does it say that he had any children, but our family tree, as far as we can trace it back, it looks like we are related, ? So, I believe that is true. I think it's a fun family fact. Again, you look inside. Look how nice this place looks. You know, most medieval games are very drab, very colorless. It's hard stone, and you know that's all well and good. The armor may be a bit anachronistic. Again, I think we're in the 1300s, so it might be a little bit late. I don't know. I'll trust them. They've been pretty faithful so far. But yeah, most games they're kind of drab and colorless, and this one, it really takes it seriously. It takes medieval history seriously, and it gives you a good representation. Okay, so I know we're going upstairs. We're trying to find Hugo. Can you imagine? Something happens at night. Famine, war on the doorstep, and now vampires. You've seen something wrong to be punished, so... Oh, Lady Amicia, I didn't see you there.
Oh, Mademoiselle.
Hello? Yes, hello, lady.
Je ne vous avais pas vu. Oui, bonjour, mademoiselle.
So, I know we're supposed to go upstairs to find Hugo, actually to find Amicia's mother. Right now, I'm just looking around, kind of exploring a bit, seeing if anything stands out. I know there's something back here. Go up the ladder in a bit.
L'odeur de tes plats me réchauffe le cœur.
Oh, ce n'est pas grand-chose, mais je pense que vous allez aimer.
J'en suis certaine, oui.
And you can tell, you know, it's not like they're super wealthy, but they're pretty well off as a family. They've got their own servants. And one thing too that I like is that you know, people treat it like, oh, well, serfdom is the worst thing. It's not, you know, there's downsides to it. But usually the lords treated their servants well, like members of the family. You know, if you were sick, a lot of times the lady of the house would go and tend to you. So, you know, it was a lot more familial than people expected. Even the servants were treated with a level of respect and dignity, and I like that. Again, points to accuracy for this game. Alright, let's go find Hugo. Or, I guess, Amicia's mother. Lady Derun. The other thing you might notice is this castle is not huge. That's pretty par for the course. In fact, this is bigger than most would be. It's more manor than castle, to be honest with you.
Tu viens de voir ma mère, tout juste. Vous
But
voulez la voir?
even so, it's not
important.
big, not compared to what
C'est
most
un
people
ordre
would
de
expect.
père.
But,
Dans ce cas, je dois finir votre
again,
chambre.
points to accuracy.
Au fait, j'ai déposé quelque chose pour vous
Alright,
sur votre lit.
let's go down
Allez voir
here
si
because
vous
we're
voulez.
supposed to go through there to talk to her mother. And again, I want to do all of the searching I can before things get started.
Léon, qu'est-ce que je vais faire ici sans toi? C'est le napperon que mère avait fait pour moi quand j'étais toute petite. Je l'ai cherché partout.
I'm on the fence about the
Merci,
French
Louise.
thing.
De rien.
I like hearing them talk in French,
Faites-y
but
attention.
obviously, of course, I can't understand them, and most of you can't either, so I either have to kind of pause and read the subtitles myself, or I have to talk through them and ignore them, and, you know, I'm not entirely sold. We'll see. We'll see. I may change things up. It's the first level. I'm allowed to change things if I want later on. It's my video. I'll cry if I want to. Okay, so we found the placeholder. In fact, did it bring up anything? It did, so let's read the spices. Rare and expensive, spices are not found at all tables. Moreover, the population is convinced of a hierarchy of elements based on their proximity to the divine. Fire precedes air, which is above water, which covers earth. Vegetables, which grow in the least noble of elements, are meant for the most destitute, while birds, which fly across the heavens, generally end up on the plates of lords. Not really. Not really. I mean, it's true the peasants would have been having mostly vegetables, but they would also have wild game that they hunted. You know, it was probably more cost-effective for a peasant to have a goose, or even, well, probably not a swan, depending on where you were. Like England, it was illegal for anybody to hunt swans other than the nobility, other than I think the king and the royal family themselves. But it's not like they wouldn't have had meats or fish or birds or anything like that. It's that the livestock would have been reserved for the lords. So this is like so-so, but it is true the spices would have been rare and they would have been a valued commodity. Hand-woven dollies are often decorated with lace and are used primarily to protect tables from hot dishes. This doily is adorned with family coats of arms. A traditional pattern of young, well-bred girls was they learned to crochet. When they learned to crochet. I can read, I swear. I'm literate, I promise. Technically, it's not a coat of arm, it's a heraldic image. Coat of arm is like a term that... they become the same thing. They are technically different, but if you want to get really nitpicky about it, heraldic image, I'm not going to do that from here on. I'll just call it coat of arms, but just, fun fact, more you know. Chocolate milk, delightful. It is my guilty pleasure. Being a total heathen, I'm drinking it right out of the jug.
Tu sais que tu n'as pas le droit d'être ici.
Je sais, mais quelque chose a attaqué Lion dans la forêt.
Écoute, mon enfant, je n'ai vraiment
Again,
pas
you
le
can.
temps d'écouter
One of the
des
things this game does a really good job of setting the tone early. You can tell she's very distant with her mother, mainly because her mother keeps her arm's length.
Mais c'est vrai. Lion était là, par terre.
She doesn't hate her daughter. It's just that she's consumed by her work, and so often her daughter takes a back seat.
Ferme la porte derrière
Does a
moi.
good job of setting that tone.
N'ouvre pas les volets.
Mais Hugo,
They could have
Il n'est pas
taken.
contagieux.
They could have really taken the easy way
Je
out
sais que
and
tu
just
ne
made it
connais pas
easy. I
beaucoup.
hate her mother.
Mais ça
Being
va.
super rebellious, but she's
Fais-moi
not.
confiance.
She's very loyal
Oui,
to her
ma'am.
mother, even though her mother's very distant. And she's very family oriented. Even though, again, oftentimes she's almost like an outsider in her own family, she still puts her family first. One of the beautiful things about this game, about her character, and I really enjoy it. Alright, let's see if there's anything in the study. We have a little bit of time. All the potions. Mother,
toutes
will
ces
you ever
potions.
cure him?
Mère,
I think I'm up with that.
Est-ce que vous
Nope,
le guérirez
that's
un
alright. We'll keep an eye on the codex. Maybe we'll find more as we go.
maman, c'est toi? Ça fait combien de temps qu'il est ici?
So this is another thing
5 ans?
too. So you get the sense that her brother Hugo, he's sick with something. It's not really clear what, but they've been searching for a cure in the most scientific way that the medievals know how,
Où est-il?
mainly throughout.
Hugo?
Meanwhile, the plague is raging, and technically they're also at war with England. So, it's
C'est fermé.
the stakes are set from the beginning, and I like that a lot. Hugo looks like he has a touch of autism. I'm not gonna lie about that.
C'est moi, ta sœur.
But the relationship
Amicia.
they build between the brother and sister is phenomenal.
Bonjour. C'est vrai qu'on se voit pas souvent. Maman va bientôt revenir.
Allez, avance. Il a parlé.
That
Non,
dude
Seigneur
looks
Nicolas.
awesome.
Il a tué 2 de nos hommes.
Look how cool that is. I mean, he's
Où
clearly a
est-il?
bad guy, but like, wow.
Pour la dernière fois.
Rate the look. Rate the
Votre
look.
fils
I give it
en
a
de
solid
bonnes
9
mains.
out of 10. Ruthless. Oh man, I love it.
C'est maman?
So, Z's called Hugo. Get over here.
Viens ici. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Okay. So this is the point of the game. Again, because we are weaker. And so we kind of have to stay hidden and choose our fights very carefully. And they do a good job of teaching you that here in the tutorial.
Viens vite.
Toi, viens voir un peu ici.
The stealth could be a little bit better. Like, you know, in real life, I probably would have been caught very quickly. Oh, man. Okay, somebody's gonna move, Okay. Perfect. Like, okay, if I walked right behind somebody, there's a good chance people have sort of sixth sense. There's a good chance you would have been caught. So, you know, stuff maybe could be a little better, but it's decent, it's passable, certainly better than the new James Bond game. So, and this is a lot. You know, it's not necessarily that you can't pick a fight, but you do have to be careful how you do it. So stealth is going to be a very heavy part of what we do. Oh. Okay, so one thing I also like here is this guy. One, he can probably see, like the peasant, can probably see us from here, and two, he could sell off the family if he wanted to, but he said, nope, I'm not going to do it. And that just goes to show you the relationship that, again, obviously not all servants had this relationship with the feudal lords, but it's just, you know, that nice touch of loyalty. It's nice. You know, again, the characters in this game are so unreal. Even side characters that you don't see ever again. That guy's gonna die.
Eh bien, où vous allez comme ça?
See, this is how you write, by the way, for anyone in Hollywood listening, take notes. This is how you write a strong woman. Alright? Her mother is very obviously competent. It's not like she's the greatest fighter of all time, but she is calm under pressure. She puts the safety of her family first. And she, you know, she's willing to put herself in the way of danger to keep her family safe. Alright? This really, both the women, both the main character women in this movie, well, in this game, the mother and the daughter both are good examples of strong female characters. It's not because they can bench 210 or 300 pounds or whatever. It's not because they can take on everybody in a fight. It's because they have strength of character. And if people would learn that would be wonderful. I would love more characters like this. I think everybody would. It's kind of ridiculous too. Say like, oh, the only way you can have a strong woman is if she's like super strong the way that men are, and it's like, okay, there's strength of character too, and that seems like that should be more the priority. Anyway, I'm just looking around a bit. Again, I'm trying to find any little collectibles. It's a little bit harder now that we're being attacked, or hunted, I should say. Obviously, you need to keep an eye on stealth as well, but I have a little bit of time to look around. So, all grass. Hell, we're close to the checkpoint. I'm gonna check it over here real quick, see if there's anything collectible over here. It's not looking like it. Not looking like it at all. Yep. Sneaking through the tall grass. Nobody notices it rustling. Nobody sees us.
Hey, un autre.
C'est qui?
Jardinier. Il connaît bien la famille. Il dit qu'il connaît les gamins depuis qu'ils sont nés.
C'est vrai.
Okay.
Il adore les fleurs. Je lui en apporte.
Yeah, as long as you're in the tall grass, you're usually pretty good. You can be found, but it's pretty difficult. Okay, so we're waiting for a moment. Again, every single person in this game, every single side character that we've encountered, you know, every single servant, they've been willing to sacrifice themselves for the sake of the family. It goes to show you, you know, these people, for one, even the peasants have like a sense of honor. which I like.
T'es
Feels very authentic to medieval Europe.
Oh,
But two,
ça c'est pas gentil.
it shows you the quality of the character of the people they serve. You only get to see him for a fraction of a second, but you get the sense that Amicia's dad is a really, really good guy.
Donc contre l'Inquisition, alors que notre
And it rubs
destin
off on the entire family, you can tell. I mean, the entire family is like that. Okay.
Attention, il va nous voir.
So, this is another game mechanic. Pretty typical.
Dans la caisse là-bas.
Let's look over here.
Ta fronde fait trop de bruit. Je peux lancer
You
un
can see, it's going to teach us two things. Number one, it's going to teach us how to throw. So if you hold control, instead of right-clicking like you're using a swing, if you hold control, you can throw a rock. The other thing it's teaching us is that you can cause a distraction. If you hit something loud and metal, honestly, I think if you just throw something in the general direction of the person and makes a noise, it can cause a distraction, but especially metal things are good for it. Pretty typical in stealth games, but we will be using that mechanic a lot.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a? C'est son mal qui se réveille. Il faut qu'on
So we can
accélère.
throw this again.
Faut que je me calme.
That's going to distract them.
Mais
Allons-y.
There's nothing over that way, I've already checked before. Pretty sure. I'm fairly certain there's actually nothing left to the end of this level, but we'll do
Pas y
the best we
aller.
can.
Merde. Peut-être que si tu lançais un de ces pots. Vous croyez? Oui. Le bruit l'attirera. Nous passerons
Alright,
dans
so
son dos.
here's another thing that we're doing. This is another mechanic. Instead of throwing a rock, you can throw a pot. And the pots shatter and make noise no matter where you throw them.
vous, les
So if we
pauvres,
throw this over here,
toujours un sou caché.
by the way, I'm
quelque
going to pick up a second one. We only have room for
C'était
one
quoi
pot
ce
right
bruit?
now. Again, stealth mechanics could use a little bit of work. You can tell, like anybody in real life would have found me, but it's fine. They probably have a code and vision. Anyway, we've only got room for one pot, so I'll grab the spare one. It may come in handy later, and I believe it saves from chapter to chapter.
Verrouillé de l'autre côté.
The other thing, again, so this is still a tutorial. It's
Je suis désolée.
It's a tutorial.
Je sais que tu as
Yeah,
peur.
you just kind of have to work your way
En
through it.
passant par là,
It's
tu pourrais
still
nous ouvrir
moving
la
the story
porte, tu
along
le sais.
better than most tutorials do, which I
Il y a quoi
like. But
derrière?
we're
Occupe-toi
learning two new
seulement de la
mechanics that we're going to
porte.
be using a
Tu
lot,
es
and
un
one of them
garçon très
is
courageux.
using
Chaque
Hugo.
jour me le prouve. Amicia va lâcher ta main et
You know,
tu y vas vite.
Missy is going to be your
D'accord.
player character, but occasionally you can command
Allez, mon
Hugo to do things, and he can help you through tense situations. Now you have to be careful, because the whole point of the game is to keep him safe.
Il y a des gens.
And so, you know, if you use him in a certain way and he gets caught, then, well, you're screwed.
Pitié! Pitié!
Demandez grâce, ne fais pas courir plus vite, mon ami.
Let's see, we want to let this guy pass. Alright. Sneak, 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 sneak. But anyway, you still can use Hugo to do some things.
Suivez-moi.
This right here, awesome scene in the game. Alicia, you have to help me next time. Sorry,
Aide ton frère la prochaine fois. Pardon, je...
And then it goes into, okay, we can tell that Hugo's sick. But what I want to point out about this,
C'est une crise.
Amicia has every
Écoute ma
reason
voix,
to
Hugo, tu
dislike
sais
her brother.
comment il faut faire.
And that does show through sometimes.
Ma tête.
But, you know, her brother gets all of her mother's love and attention and affection, and it's because of him. And because of him, she's kind of forced to take a backseat. So you could very easily see her doing something like that, hopping the window, leaving Hugo behind, and it's like, oh, you need to be more careful, Amicia. She's like, yeah, whatever.
On continue.
She could have very easily done it. She didn't. Instead, she goes, oh, I'm sorry. He's my brother. I should have taken better care of him. And that's something I really like about this game. Let's see. Is it C to crouch? Yeah. C to crouch. That's going to take some doing to memorize. I'm sure that won't confuse me at any point. It's not like most games use control. Alright. Over the wall. And now, from here on, she helps him over the wall. Okay, it's too risky. Hugo's slower than
C'est trop
us.
risqué avec
There are
Hugo.
pots over there. I could cross, make a diversion.
Je préfère diversion. Il y a des pots là-bas. J'y vais.
So,
toute seule.
this is another mechanic. You can leave Hugo alone. Now, if you leave him alone, he can freak
Attends,
out.
petit signal.
So you
D'accord.
really don't want to be
Fais
alone
attention.
from him too long. Because if he freaks out and makes a ton of noise, you're going to get spotted. But you can leave him for a little bit at a time to do what you got to do. Get across and make some noise. Now, like I said, I already brought a pot. So I actually came prepared,
Mère et Hugues, je dois les prévenir maintenant.
but
Faut que j'aille voir.
it never hurts to stock up. And it gives you extra in case you're gonna need them.
Allez,
Also, I love how the mother is like, "Oh, you need to keep an eye on Hugo. You need to help him." And then she immediately hops the fence and leaves him behind. All right, we got him. We're good. Let's go through here. Pretty sure there's no like blacksmith's tools or anything. Nope, nothing. Anything on this guy? Doesn't look like it's.
la porte du
It's not really a game where you
On va
loot a
pouvoir
whole lot
sortir
of people
d'ici.
or anything
Il
like
reste
that.
un garde. L'épouvantail. Je vais m'entraîner au tir dessus. Mais il se rapproche.
Alright, so this is another mechanic. It's just showing you, hey, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Je m'en occupe.
We're gonna throw this at him. Actually, hang on, let me make sure I've got the rocks out. Don't want to hit that with a pot. It's just showing you, hey, you know, sometimes you want to think outside the rocks. Sometimes, you throw a rock to make a distraction. But sometimes the goal is not necessarily to distract them with the rock, but to orient them in a certain way so that they're looking away from you. So you hit the scarecrow, it gets his attention, but then once he's done, he's going to turn around and ignore them.
Va-t'en
It's a nice way
aller.
to make a point. With that said, he's going to go back and stare at a wall for whatever reason. It's dumb. He does turn around. He doesn't actually turn around. He's going to be searching for us, but I think we'll be alright. Yep, the cutscene, we're good.
Par ici, venez. Par ici. Suivez-moi.
If she hadn't hesitated... Sorry, I guess I'm kind of spoiling some things, but, you know, obviously the point of the game is a relationship between the brother and the sister, so the mother's not around for a ton of time.
Madame. Ils arrivent.
I mean,
Tu dois
that
aider ton
night
frère,
is just
tu le
so
rends-tu
cool.
ça?
I don't care if he is a bad
Il m'a
guy.
aidé à
He's so
soigner Hugo.
cool.
Il prendra soin de vous.
Mais et vous alors? Vous
Tu
devez
n'as pas
venir avec
besoin de
nous.
moi, Alicia.
J'ai besoin de vous. J'ai besoin de vous.
The other thing, and I will say,
Dépêche-toi.
I'm
Suis la
also so
rivière.
on this.
Elle
You
te
know,
conduira
usually
à
the church is
l'Europe.
painted to be a bad guy in a lot of these games, and this is not really an exception. But you can see on his belt, he's got like Crusader. He's got Crusader mottos stitched into his belt, and it just looks so cool.
Hugo, suis-moi.
Okay, so now we get to learn how to sprint, and this is pretty easy. You just kind of sprint along the main road. People are going to try and attack you, but it doesn't matter. You just keep running.
Où est maman?
You'll be
Elle
alright.
va nous rattraper. Cours, cours le plus vite possible.
Mainly because the soldiers are down here, and the other thing out here isn't only focused on you.
Ne t'arrête pas. Ils sont juste derrière nous.
So if you're here, the way to walk is to go down to the river,
Va tout droit. Va.
living in a van, down by the
Devant toi, c'est tout. Amicia, on doit retourner chercher maman. Pas question. Ils doivent pas nous attraper.
Alright. One of the signs of a good game, too, is that the villains are relatable. Sort of. There are some games where the villains are relatable and heroes aren't. That's a problem.
On va
But
mourir.
if you've got a game where you root for the heroes but you understand the villains and kind of agree with them, you've got a good game.
Partout. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
And I kind of feel that way about this Templar now.
Prends l'inspiration.
Alright, so I'm probably going to call it Chapter 1. That one wasn't too long, but Chapter 2 gets longer. I think there may only be like 6 chapters. It's not a long game per se. So I'm going to space this out a bit. But hopefully I'll have another video out sometime soon. I'm not being super strict with my schedule. If you want to see more of me, I generally stream with, well, I'm usually on stream with my buddy, Woody MF. You can look him up, I think on YouTube it's Woody MF07. So you can check him out. He does a lot of FPS games. We do we do a lot of Battlefield, we do some, let's see. We've done Arc Raiders, we've done Apex Legends, he'll do Star Wars, so you know, I'm not always there, but I try to be there whenever he's streaming. So you can check it out there if you want to hear more from me. I highly recommend it. He's got some good stuff going on. We're trying to branch him out a bit from FPS games too, but
Allez,
it's his
viens, on
niche,
va
he
d'abord se
enjoys it.
sécher.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to call it here. thank you guys for watching. Next time, we'll go through Chapter 2. And if I get to the game, enter the game, and I haven't finished everything, then we'll go back and we'll start hunting through for other things. I'm going to go ahead and back to main menu. Doesn't matter that all and save progress is lost. We hit our checkpoint. We're fine. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.